back to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to be talking about clothing and what to wear on the water. It's super important that we wear the right clothing on the water. We don't want to get hypothermia and we don't want to overheat. Both of those is so dangerous, especially when you mix water temperature in with that. It might be blazing hot sunshine, but the water temperature is still going to be pretty cold. There is a risk that you might get cold water shock, so wearing the right clothing will help you alleviate some of this. Before we do anything to our boat, we need to make sure that we've prepared ourselves, wearing the right clothing, the right footwear, and make sure that we have our buoyancy aid or life jacket. First things first, we're going to talk about buoyancy. It is the most important part of your outfit, is what's going to help you float in the water. So we've got two different types. We have a buoyancy aid and we have a life jacket. A buoyancy aid has buoyancy on both the front and the back. This enables you to float either on your front, your back, aid you in swimming, and they're really good for sailing. They don't self-inflate, they have inherent buoyancy in the back and the front. This is a life jacket. This is best for powerboating, yachting, anything where you're not likely to get wet through splash or whatever. A couple of different types of life jacket. So you've got ones where you self-inflate them, where you pull down on this toggle here, and there's a gas canister that will inflate the whole of the life jacket around the front and around the back of your neck. These will float you on your back. So if you get knocked unconscious by accident or something like that, these will float you on your back and not into the water. So this one is now on. It's got a fastener underneath here, so we've got to make sure that these straps are all nice and tight, and it's also got a crutch strap under here. So make sure these are all nice and tight and you want it to fit you nice and snugly. Like I said before, it's got a toggle that we can pull if we end up in the water. There's some life jackets that will inflate when they hit the water as well. So if you get flung out your boat or you go overboard, they will self-inflate when water touches them. This one also has a hook for a harness. So again, if you're on your yacht, you can clip onto the side and it's nice and safe. I'm just going to put the buoyancy aid on now. There are a few different types. I've got one that kind of slips over the top of your head, but you can get ones that zip up like a waistcoat. I prefer this one because it's zipped up by the side and you can make it nice and tight. That's the most important part of a life jacket or a buoyancy aid, is they fit nice and snugly. Make sure that this is all tight as well as around the middle here. The main reason that we have these nice and tight is so they don't come off over your head when you fall in the water. Same with the life jacket, make sure they're nice and tight so it's not going to slip up. There you go, so mine's now nice and tight and that's not going to come up. If I enter the water, it's not going to slip up over the top of my head and I fall straight down through the water. Now onto our clothing. So I'm going to split this up into what basic stuff we would wear, stuff specific to summer, stuff specific to winter, and then what's in my actual sailing bag for before and after I go on the water. So first things first, pretty much 99% of the time I will always put on a bikini or a swimsuit underneath, just to keep us warm. Next up we have a rash vest. I like to keep a couple of different ones with me. I prefer long sleeve ones so then my arms don't get burnt, but other people prefer short sleeve ones. I then put on my wetsuit itself. I prefer to have long arms and long legs, so you've got the flexibility. You can wear it halfway, you can wear it all the way. This is a 3.2mm wetsuit. It's super stretchy and super flexible. I adore wearing wetsuits just because you get more flexibility in them when you're moving around, when you're sailing, whether you're doing whatever you're doing, and they keep you nice and warm as well. When a wetsuit gets wet, the water is trapped between the wetsuit itself and your skin, so it heats up that thin layer of water between the two and keeps you nice and warm. I put on a splash top. This is quite a fancy one because it is actually fleece lined and it's much warmer than your traditional splash top. A splash top is just to keep the water off your body, so it doesn't tend to soak into your wetsuit and make you cold that way. Basic versions of a splash top are just a thin layer of waterproof material. Normally they just pull over your head like this one does. After I've decided whether I want a splash top or not, I then put my boots on. There's a couple of different types of boots I'm going to be talking about. I will show you the other ones in a second, but these are full length boots. These have got grip on the front, so when you're hiking they just give you a bit of grip on the toe strap, and they've got a nice thick sole as well. They go up to just past your ankle, so they give you a little bit of support. Once I've popped my boots on, gloves. I tend to wear gloves when I'm sailing. I don't necessarily wear them when I'm powerboating or coaching. My hands don't get too cold, but they do get a bit rope burned. I prefer having 3 full fingers and 2 short fingers on my thumb and my first finger, just so you can undo those fiddly ropes or shackles that you might need. Again, personal preference, whether you have completely short fingers, completely long fingers. I sort of have a mixture of both. So that is your basic outfit of choice. You can layer up, you can layer down with a long wetsuit. I'm going to show you what people would wear in the summer now. When it's super hot, I don't bother with a wetsuit. I just wear board shorts. Normally short ones. You can get long ones. I know guys wear long ones. These are really good because they've got pockets in as well. Always useful. On my top half, I wear a short sleeve rash vest or a long sleeve one, depending on whether it's super sunny and I don't want to get burnt or not. Rash vests are really good for layering. If you're too hot, you can wear just a singular one and nothing else over the top. If you're too cold, you can layer a few up and they give you that extra warmth. If it's not so hot and I still want to wear a wetsuit, these are called shorty wetsuits. They've got short arms and short legs. I personally don't like shorty wetsuits. I just prefer to wear board shorts, but quite a lot of people do wear them just to give you a bit more protection than a pair of shorts and a rash vest does. On my feet are my trusty boots. These don't have that bit on the front that we were talking about with the long boots, but they do have a nice thick sole, which is perfect for walking on gravel and stones. In the summer as well, it's really good to wear a cap. It's good to keep the sun off your face and also the sun off the top of your head as well. We've got a couple of different options for the winter, or when you're kind of sitting around, not really moving around much and you don't want to get cold. A pair of salopettes. You can wear normal clothes underneath salopettes, but just be aware that sometimes you do get wet. They have a double skin of waterproof material and they do surprisingly keep you very warm. On my feet, when I'm wearing salopettes, if I'm teaching on the lake or something, I just wear a pair of wellies and do these up really tight so no water can overlap my wellies if I do end up going in the water. On my top half, I wear a coat. This is fleecy lined and it's super warm with a nice big hood if it rains or something like that. On top of that, you obviously want to wear your buoyancy aid to keep you afloat or life jacket. Another option for the winter is a dry suit. So, we have our wetsuit that we can get wet in and it's going to keep us warm, and a dry suit is when we are in the water and it keeps us completely dry. So we can wear anything we like underneath it, shorts, t-shirt, trousers, leggings, jeans, and it will keep you completely dry. It's got seals on the cuffs and around the neck. On the feet, it's got these rubbery boots, which keeps you completely dry. You get into it through this big zip on the front. There's a few variations of dry suits, some which are done up from the back, some which are across the body, and some that are zippy up the front. I prefer the crossbody ones. It means you don't have to have someone to help you into it and out of it again. I'd say dry suits are pretty warm depending on what you're wearing underneath and what you are doing. You can put thermals underneath, and you can also put what we call a huggy bear underneath. It's like a big sleeping bag or a big onesie. I'll insert a picture here. I don't have one of them to show you guys, unfortunately. Our feet in the winter, or when that water starts getting a bit cold, I like to wear 2 pairs of sailing socks. So these are thermal socks made out of a really nice soft material. Socks. They're made of a really thin wetsuit neoprene material, and they actually really keep your feet nice and warm. A hat is so important in the winter months. Whatever you're doing on the water, even if you're just walking around on the beach, wearing a nice warm hat will help you massively. Some people like to wear buffs. This is a rooster one. This one is actually fleecy lined like our splash top, and they're just really good for keeping around your neck, keeping that water off, and they also make a good nice face shield. Last thing then is what is actually in our sailing bag then. Once we come off the water, we want to get ourselves nice and dry and changed. So there's a couple of things in here that I would really recommend getting. First thing is a towel robe, especially at the moment when changing rooms aren't necessarily open and you're getting changed on the beach or in your car or whatever. It's really good to have one of these changing robes. You can put it completely over you. Another thing is a spare towel. So this could be used for a hair towel, or I prefer to put these on the floor instead of standing on loads of rubbish and water from the changing room. I just put mine down on the floor to dry my feet. I also have spare sun cream, so I can put some on before I go out and make sure I'm all covered. Also carry some shower gel. I normally carry 2-in-1 shampoo and conditioner, but shower gel just works as well. I also keep hairbands and a hairbrush as well for after my shower. I always keep hairbands in my bag just for, in case clients haven't got one. It's really important to keep your hair out of your face. We're nearly at the end of our video. I just want to do a couple of sailing specific items. First of all, for beginners, a helmet is a really good idea, especially if you're not used to that boom being above your head. Another item, knee pads. If it's light winds, the clients are going to be ending up in the bottom of the boat, on their knees, on their bum, and it's just nice to give them a bit more protection. Moving on to our slightly more advanced kit then. If you are in a specific type of boat that requires trapezing, a trapeze harness is an essential item. So it's got a hook on the front here with a quick release if you get into trouble. You just hook your wire on and it's all strapped up like so. Another item is these hikers. They have got padding in the backs of your thighs. This is a hard bit of, I don't really know what it's made out, I think it's metal. It's pretty flexible to go around your leg, but when you put your bum out over the side, it just gives you a bit of protection on your thigh area and not make it so sore. These can be put over the top of your wetsuit, or you could just wear these as a wetsuit if you like. These ones are 3/4 lengths, but I think you can get long ones. And you can just get shorts as well instead of having the whole thing. That is the end of our video for today. Thank you very much for watching and listening to me ramble on about what we wear in the water. It is really important that we have the right kit. We don't want to be too hot, we don't want to be too cold. So having a mix of stuff is what we require to go on the water. Most of this is my personal kit. It has taken me a few years to accumulate all of this stuff, but it is really important that you get the basics. So you have your wetsuit, your swimming costume or trunks, your boots and your buoyancy aid. I'm going to bang on about it again. Buoyancy aid or a life jacket is the most important part of your whole outfit. I never ever go on the water without one. I feel really unsafe. Thank you very much for watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed. Please give it a big thumbs up, hit the big red subscribe button, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye!